What's up, nerds? This is Cheshire from Cheshire Plays Games, and we're going to do another Oathbreaker deck tech, and this time it's all about the butts. We're speaking about Huatli, the sun's heart. Just because I had a foil and I really wanted to use it. The light here isn't going to catch this, but it's actually quite stunning. So this is one Selesnya and two, so a green or a white and two, I should say a Selesnya split, I guess. Legendary Planeswalker Huatli. As you can see here, each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. The secondary here is that you gain life equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control for -3, which we don't really care that much about, but 7 loyalty for 3 mana is pretty good. How are we going to break big butts? Tower Defense makes our butts bigger. Our signature spell is 1 green and 1 colorless for an instant. Creatures you control get +0/+5 and gain reach until the end of turn. The reach doesn't matter, but certainly making big butts bigger so that when they turn sideways, Huatli just makes them massive is fantastic. Now, obviously, because this is a creature aggro build, we wanted to do something different because we haven't really been focusing on that. Let's have a look at some of our big butts. We have some walls. Now, walls can't attack usually, and we'll get to that in a second. So most of these walls are just going to be sitting around. So we've only got a few of them. We've got Angelic Wall. This is 1 white and 1 colorless for a defender with flying. That's a 0/4, so it'll be a 4/4 when it assigns damage. We've got Wall of Blossoms, of course. Who doesn't love a wall that draws a card? This is, of course, 2 mana, so 1 green and 1 colorless for a 0/4 defender wall. And when the Wall of Blossoms enters the battlefield, you get to draw a card, which is great. Can trippy walls. We've got, of course, Wall of Omens, another 2 mana 0/4 wall. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Wall of Roots, of course, to help us accelerate a little bit of mana. 1 green and 1 colorless. Put a -1 counter on the Wall of Roots, and then you can add a green to your mana pool. Play this, excuse me, as a mana source and use this ability only once each turn. But it's a 0/5, so big turn. This will be a 1/1 in the air when it attacks, but this is a Birds of Paradise. It's just a little bit of ramp. Taps to add 1 color of any mana to our mana pool. Incubation Druid, again, because we have the foil sexiness that you won't see on this light, unfortunately. But this little guy is 1 colorless and 1 green or girl, or I'm not sure. Add 1 mana of any type of a land that you can produce. If Incubation Druid has a +1/+1 counter in it, add 3 instead. You can adapt, of course, for 3 and 2 green to adapt 3, and it gets 3 +1/+1 counters, so it could become a 5/5. Courser of Crewfix is a must for this deck, just because of a couple of reasons, really. I mean, it's pretty cheap, 2 green and a colorless for a 2/4, so basically a 4/4 in this deck. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You can play the top card of your library if it's a land card. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, gain a life. Runic Armasaur is perfect in this deck for a 2/5, so no, it's a 5/5. 2 green and 1 colorless. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, you get to draw a card. Oh, drawing cards. Forgotten Ancient is something that everyone forgets about. It's a 0/3, technically speaking, the 3/3 in this deck for 4 mana. That's 1 green and 3 colorless. Whenever a player casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on the Forgotten Ancient. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Forgotten Ancient to other creatures. That's really handy for making things bigger. We're playing a Spirit of the Spires. This is a 2/4 flyer for 4. Other creatures you control with flying get +0/+1. Yeah, this isn't a must-have, to be honest, but it's kind of cool. A little bit wonky there, sorry. Gorm the Great, this is 3 colorless and 1 green. For a legendary creature, Gorm Warrior, this is a 2/7, so it's going to be a 7/7. Partner with doesn't matter, don't worry about it. Vigilance, pretty good. And it must be blocked if able, and can only be blocked by 2 or more creatures. So, that is smashing stuff. It's great. Okay, so Trostani Discordant, this is 1 green, 1 white, and 3 colors for a Dryad. It's a 1/4, so a 4/4. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. And when it enters the battlefield, you get 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. And at the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own. Alright, so that's pretty useful for getting your own stuff back. We want to know how we're going to close out the game though. What's going to assist us? Well, Duelist's Heritage is a very interesting enchantment. 2 colours and 1 white. Whenever 1 or more creatures attack, you may have target attacking creature gain double strike until the end of turn. Not just your creatures. Not just your creatures. Politics, baby, politics. We have Assault Formation just in case we do want to attack with those walls, but each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So pretty much Huatli Little, just as an enchantment. Creatures you control get +0/+1 until the end of turn for 3 mana. So you can double pump and stuff, so that's pretty cool. But how are we going to take advantage of the assigning toughness? We also have Jareth, Leon and Titan as a good finisher. This will be a 7/7, and look at that. Whenever it blocks, it gets +7/+7. For 1 white, it gains protection from the colour of your choice until the end of turn. Pretty good finisher. We also have an Oketra. I wish we had the other one, to be honest, because it would be perfect for this deck. 3 colours and 1 white for a legendary creature god, double strike, indestructible. Look, it can't attack or block unless you control at least 3 other creatures, but it can create creatures, and we already know that we're going to have a bunch of stuff in play because it's real cheap. Uncage the Menagerie. 2 green and X, search your library for up to X creature cards with different names that each have a converted mana cost of X, reveal them, put them into your hand, and then shuffle your library. So you've got a heap of 3 costs, so that's great. Speaking of 3 costs, Mentor of the Meek. Surprising that most of our creatures are power 2 or less. I wonder why. So whenever another creature enters the battlefield with 2 or less power, you get to pay 1 and then draw a card. We also have the Flanker, Sida, Kondo, the Jamura. 1 green, 1 white, and 2 colours for a legendary human knight with flanking. Yeah, flanking, I know, right? Creatures your opponents control without flying or reach can't block creatures with power 2 or less. So good for your deck. Look at all your 2 or less power creatures. That's amazing. We need to draw more cards, right? Beast Whisperer. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. Guardian Project. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control, or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card, which we won't because Highlander. Vizier of the Menagerie. 3 colours and 1 green for a Naga Cleric. You can look at the top card of your library, and you may cast the top card of your library if it's a creature card. You can spend mana as though it's any colour, which doesn't matter. It just gets us awesome stuff real quick. Alright. So, we want some protection. We want to stop ourselves from dying. We have a Wave of Reckoning. Each creature deals damage to itself equal to its power, not its toughness. Great. Destroy all creatures with power greater than target creature's power. Again, a lot of your stuff is like power 0 or 2 or 1. We have Revelark. So 4 colours and 1 white for an elemental. When it enters the battlefield, and it's flying of course, return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and you can evoke it, so handy. Ah, what's this? Another way to win the game? Shocking. If everything goes wrong, you can always approach that second sun. 6 colours and 1 white for a sorcery. If Approach was cast from your hand, and you've cast another spell named Approach of the Second Sun this game, you win the game. So that's pretty cool. Otherwise, put it 7 from the top and gain 7 life. Win the game. Always lovely. Alright, we have Path to Exile, of course, staple. We have a Swords to Plowshares, and we have Heroic Intervention. All things to give us a bit of extra protection. There's some other spells and stuff too, but if you look down there in the description of this video, you'll find a link to this deck list. I hope that you enjoyed it, and let me know if there's maybe a command you want me to try and like break for you or bend or something, and we'll go from there. I'm Chesh, thanks for watching. Remember to visit oathbreakermtg.com. Thank you and goodbye.